you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast, dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Hey guys, and welcome to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia, and happy Monday, everyone. I hope you all are having a fabulous day. I wonder how you guys are all holding up. How are you guys holding up after this daylight savings time? This is the time, this is the one that we like. This is the one where we gain an hour. And it happened to fall during Halloween weekend, which, by the way, I hope y'all were being safe, celebrating safely in your homes, socially distanced, masked up, okay? If there was any time to wear a mask, it's honestly during Halloween with costumes and all of that stuff. Wearing a mask is like the perfect time for that. So I had an extremely chill weekend. My boyfriend came to visit me for Halloween, and we honestly just stayed at my house, chilled, ate a lot of crab. We both love crab. So we ordered takeout, and we just ate at the house, chilled, like really chill vibes. Ended up watching a Halloween movie with my mom, like, what even was Halloween? I wasn't like in the mood really to celebrate it this year. It just didn't seem like appropriate for me personally. I usually go full out. I go all out. Last year I went to LA and I was part of the Powerpuff Girls with my friend, and we went out and it was tons of fun. I usually go out for Halloween, but this year just wasn't it. The vibes weren't there. Like, I wasn't going to be able to celebrate comfortably with COVID lurking around, you feel me? So I stayed in, really chill, and I had work in the morning Sunday, yesterday. I had a few classes to teach, so I don't like doing anything crazy the night before. I have to wake up early. So no, it was a really chill weekend for me. I felt, and I actually still feel really good from this daylight savings. Yesterday, I woke up in utter confusion because I had forgotten we were saving, or it was daylight savings and we were getting an hour. So I went to bed at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m., around 11 p.m. Halloween night. I know, I'm super grandma status, hella lame. I get it. But girl, I don't like to sleep hella late when I have to wake up early. So I went to bed around 11:30 on Saturday, forgetting, and like usually I have to wake up at 7 a.m. on Sunday. And you ever like go to bed feeling like you're sleeping too much? Like you just are in your bed like, I feel like I've been sleeping for too long. I probably overslept, didn't hear my alarm go off. That was me Sunday morning. So I woke up gasping, like in confusion, like, oh my God, like it looks like the sun's out. Like I definitely overslept. And I turned and checked my phone and it was 6:26 in the morning. And I was so confused. I'm like, why am I up so early? And why do I feel so rested? And it's because we gained an extra hour. So I really slept for like a total of 9 hours. So I felt so good yesterday. I was teaching my classes Sunday morning, and usually I feel really tired, and I didn't at all. I was full of energy. Like I felt so good. And as a result, I was able to kill it in my workout yesterday. I ended up breaking a new PR, which is a personal record in the fitness game. And I lifted the heaviest I ever have in my deadlift, 190 pounds for 6 reps. So I'm super proud of myself. Like, it's really crazy how sleep really does give you the necessary energy to go about your day. Like, sleep truly is everything. I'm a huge advocate on sleep. I'm going to try and get my 8 hours one way or another, you feel me? So I don't care that I'm a grandma and I sleep really late or really early Saturday nights. Like, I need to get my full 8 hours of sleep. And that's really what we're going to be talking about on today's episode, is all about sleep and how to fall asleep in 10, 60, or even 120 seconds, okay? So a minute and a half-ish or shorter. So I'm going to give you guys some foundational sleep tips from some sleep experts, of course. And we're going to get into also how to figure out what your circadian rhythm, everything you need to know about your circadian rhythm. And is it possible to sleep without dreaming? I mean, there's so many things we can unpack when it comes to sleep. And there's so much like cool science behind sleep. So I'm so excited to talk about it in today's episode. We're going to be specifically honing in first on how to fall asleep very quickly by giving you some of these foundational sleep tips and tricks. And then we'll move on to talking about your circadian rhythm, what it tells, what it's relaying to you and so forth. So definitely stick around for the entirety of today's episode, because we're going to be unpacking a lot of cool things. And who doesn't want to know and learn how to fall asleep fast? I know we all have dealt with some type of issues trying to fall asleep, right? It's like we go about our day super tired, super sleepy, and then once our bed hits that pillow late at night, it's like all of a sudden all the worries and stresses, crowd your mind, and it's so annoying, I know. But hopefully after today's episode, you will have a better understanding, and maybe some of these foundational sleep tips and tricks will help you in going to bed quicker. I know I'm definitely going to be using these tips and tricks, as I have to wake up usually between 4 and 5 a.m. every day. So I'm super excited to use these tricks and to share it with you guys as well. So the fastest way to sleep: spending more time trying to fall asleep rather than actually sleeping. Again, you're not alone, you guys. Just the act of trying too hard can cause or continue a cycle of anxious, nerve-wracking energy that keeps our minds awake. Isn't that crazy? Trying too hard to go to bed can actually keep us up for longer. And if your mind can't sleep, it's really difficult for your body to follow. But there are scientific tricks you can try to flip the switch and guide your body into a safe shutdown mode. So right now, I'm going to cover some science-based tricks to help you fall asleep faster. But first, before I get into the science-based tricks, I want to personally share with you guys what I do, a couple things I do to help me fall asleep quicker. The first is to read right before bed, okay? To read, I feel like reading puts me in a really sleepy mood. So definitely reading like 30 minutes before going to bed. Like, that's literally the last thing I do. I do my nighttime skincare routine. I put my phone away. That's a big one. You don't want to be falling asleep with your phone in hand. That blue light is not good for you, and it actually messes up your circadian rhythm, which again, we'll get into more detail throughout the episode. But reading is a really good one that helps me get in a sleepy mood. And then CBD oil. I know not everyone's for this, but I like to take it occasionally to help my body ease as well. And lastly, I listen to sound baths. And if you guys don't know what sound baths are, it's basically like really soothing sounds using like singing bowls, and it emits frequencies and vibrations that literally make your body tingle and help you relax and ease your mind. There's a whole bunch of sound baths you can tune into via YouTube. There's like 10-minute long ones, 30-minute, hour. There's even 8-hour long sound baths. I know, kind of insane, but it's there on the tube and it's for free. Who doesn't like free 99? So definitely those would be my personal top 3 tips and tricks to try. Again, it is to read a good book or read something right before going to bed, CBD oil or some type of treatment, and then listening to sound baths. Again, this is more on the alternative side, natural healing. Again, y'all already know if you've been tuning in to my episodes, I'm all about natural way of healing the body, alternative medicine. If you're more like, I want to pop like a melatonin and call it a night, do that. But I'm really going to be emphasizing the more natural way to fall asleep quickly. So we're going to get into a very brief break right now. And when we come back, I'm finally going to share with you guys some science-based tricks to help you fall asleep faster.
Are you looking to learn more about the latest trends from the fitness world? Are you confused by all of the different trends that are out there? The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place for you. The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place to come for people of all skill and interest levels. Join us as we explore the latest trends in the fitness world. Does that new exercise really work? Should I try yoga? Whatever your question, chances are good you'll find an answer on the GSMC Fitness Podcast.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So right before the break, I share with you guys some of my personal tips and tricks that help me fall asleep quicker, and that maybe it'll help you speed up the snooze process as well. Are those science-based and backed? Kind of, not really. But now I'm really going to share with you guys science-based tricks. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am as excited to share with you. So here's how to sleep in 10 seconds. It usually takes a magic spell to fall asleep this quick and on cue. But just like spells, with practice, you can eventually get to that sweet 10-second spot. So the method right now I'm going to read to you guys takes a full 120 seconds to finish, but the last 10 seconds is said to be truly all it takes to finally snooze. So definitely listen up, turn up the volume right now, and pay attention. The military method. The popular military method, which was first reported by Sharon Ackerman, comes from a book titled Relax and Win Championship Performance. According to Sharon Ackerman, the United States Navy pre-flight school created a routine to help pilots fall asleep in 2 minutes or less. It took pilots about 6 weeks of practice, but it worked. Even after drinking coffee and with gunfire noises in the background, they were able to master this technique and fall asleep within this time frame. And this practice is said to even work for people who need to sleep sitting up, y'all. So definitely want to listen up right now. So here's the military method. You first are going to want to relax your entire face, including the muscles inside your mouth. We don't really realize this, but we unconsciously and subconsciously tend to tighten our jaws a lot. So if you just take a deep breath in And then exhale. And as you exhale, focus on relaxing your jawline. It should help. You then drop your shoulders to release the tension and let your hands drop to the side of your body. Exhale, relaxing your chest. Relax your legs, thighs, and calves. Clear your mind for 10 seconds by imagining a relaxing scene. And if this doesn't work, try saying the words "don't think" over and over for 10 seconds. And within 10 seconds, you should fall asleep. So again, that in a nutshell is the military method. And I want to reiterate that those 7 steps I just read to you guys takes about a full 120 seconds to finish. But the last 10 seconds, saying the words "don't think" over and over and over again is really when you fall asleep in those 10 seconds. But the whole process takes around 120 seconds. If this doesn't work for you, you may need to work on the foundations of the military method. So, breathing and muscle relaxation, which have some scientific evidence that they work. Also, some conditions such as ADHD or anxiety may interfere with this method's effectiveness. I would know because I myself deal with generalized anxiety disorder, and a lot of individuals who deal with anxiety or ADHD aren't the best when it comes to sit down meditation, right? So that's like meditation where you just sit in silence and like you're sitting there alone in your own thoughts. That method of relaxation doesn't work for everybody, and I can understand why the military method will be another one in which it may not work for those who deal with anxiety or ADHD. But do not worry, keep listening to learn about the techniques this military method is based on and how to practice them effectively. So if you're one of those people who's really worried about not being able to master the military method, do not fear. I got you. The sleep experts got you. Sharon Ackerman, who first introduced this idea, got you. So that's how to sleep in 10 seconds. Let's move on to how to sleep in 60 seconds, in about a minute, okay? So these 2 methods that I'm about to tell you guys right now, which focus on your breath or muscles, help you take your mind off topic and back to bed. If you're a beginner trying these hacks out, these methods may take up to 2 minutes to work. So the first method is the 4-7-8 breathing method. Mixing together the powers of meditation and visualization, this breathing method becomes more effective with practice. If you have a respiratory condition, such as asthma or COPD, consider checking with your doctor before beginning, as this could aggravate your symptoms, okay? So just a mini disclaimer out there I want to put out there. So to prepare, place the tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth behind your 2 front teeth, and keep your tongue there the whole time and purse your lips if you need to. So here's how to do 1 cycle of the 4-7-8 breathing. So first, let your lips part slightly and make a whooshing sound as you exhale through your mouth. Then close your lips and inhale silently through your nose. Count to 4 in your head. Then hold your breath for 7 seconds. After, exhale with the whoosh sound for 8 seconds. And avoid being too alert at the end of each cycle, so try to practice it mindlessly, okay? And complete the cycle for 4 full breaths. Let your body sleep if you feel relaxation coming along earlier than anticipated. So that in a nutshell is the 4-7-8 breathing technique, and that should help you sleep in around 60 seconds. So that's the first method that focuses on breath. This second method focuses on relaxation through the muscles. and it's called the progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR. Progressive muscle relaxation, also known as deep muscle relaxation, helps you unwind. The premise is to tense but not strain your muscles and relax to release the tension. And this movement promotes tranquility throughout your body. And it's a trick recommended to help with insomnia, but actually it's also a trick to help release anxiety, you guys. And when I had my anxiety attack back in March, when COVID just broke out and I was very, very anxious about that. That's actually what triggered my anxiety, was COVID. My doctor recommended me this exact same progressive muscle relaxation. The practice of tightening your muscles, such as like squeezing your hands or squeezing your toes, and then releasing the tension to help your body be a little more tranquil. And it really does help. So I'm a big advocate about the progressive muscle relaxation. And I myself do it to help ease my anxiety. But again, it also helps with insomnia. So before you start, try practicing the 4-7-8 method while imagining the tension leaving your body as you exhale. So here's the relaxation script I'm about to read to y'all. First, raise your eyebrows as high as possible for 5 seconds, and this will tighten your forehead muscles. Relax your muscles immediately and feel the tension drop. Wait 10 seconds. Smile widely to create tension in your cheeks. Then hold for 5 seconds. Relax. Then pause 10 seconds. Squint with your eyes shut. Hold 5 seconds and then relax. Then pause another 10 seconds. Tilt your head slightly back so you're comfortably looking at the ceiling. Then hold 5 seconds and then relax as your neck sinks back into the pillow. Then pause 10 seconds. Then keep moving down the rest of the body from your triceps to chest, thighs to feet. And let yourself fall asleep, even if you don't finish tensing and relaxing the rest of your body. And as you do this, focus on how relaxed and heavy your body feels when it's relaxed and in a comfortable state. And this should help you guys fall asleep in 60 seconds. So I want you guys to try that, actually. I want you guys to try the progressive muscle relaxation technique and the 4-7-8 breathing method during this commercial break. But don't fall asleep on me. We'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we just went over, a few ways to fall asleep in 10 seconds and in 60 seconds. So let me refresh your mind. Hopefully you guys didn't fall asleep on me and you're back tuning in. So to sleep in 10 seconds is the military method, right? Which is basically like relaxing your face, relaxing your body. And it was first introduced and reported by Sharon Ackerman, and it was instilled in the United States Navy pre-flight school. And it was created as a routine for pilots to fall asleep in 2 minutes or less. And then for the 60 seconds, we have the 4-7-8 breathing method along with the progressive muscle relaxation. We're now going to get into depth on how to fall asleep in 120 seconds. So just under a minute and a half. If the previous method still didn't work, there might be an underlying blockage you need to get out. So try these techniques. The first is to tell yourself to stay awake. Also called paradoxical intention, telling yourself to stay awake may be a good way to fall asleep faster. For people, especially those with insomnia, trying to sleep can increase performance anxiety. So research has found that people who practice paradoxical intention fell asleep faster than those who didn't. If you often find yourself stressed out about trying to sleep, this method may be more effective than traditional intentional breathing practices. So if you're someone who's like really anxious, like you're like, dang it, like I need to fall asleep right now. Like if I fall asleep right now, I will get exactly 6 hours and 32 minutes of sleep. So I need to fall asleep right now. But if you're just like so stressed about trying to get yourself to fall asleep because you need to wake up early the next day, that's actually doing more damage than good. So literally tell yourself to stay awake. I know. That's why it's called paradoxical intention, because it like seems counterintuitive to do that. Like, why would I tell myself to stay awake if I'm trying to go to sleep? But it's actually going to increase or help with those with insomnia and decrease that performance anxiety. Next, visualize a calm place. If counting activates your mind too much, we've heard a lot of times like count sheep in your sleep. If that activates your mind too much, then try engaging your imagination. Some say that visualizing something can make it real, and it's possible this works with sleep too. In a 2002 study from the University of Oxford, researchers found that people who engaged in imagery distraction fell asleep faster than those who had general distraction or no instructions. So you might be sitting there like, what is imagery distraction? What is image distraction? I'm about to let y'all know in. So instead of counting sheep, try to imagine a serene setting and all the feelings that go with it. For example, you can imagine a waterfall, the sounds of echoing, rushing water, and the scent of damp moss. The key is to let this image take up space in your brain to prevent yourself from re-engaging with thoughts, worries, and concerns pre-sleep. And I know this is a lot easier said than done, but definitely try it out if you're one who counting ends up, keeping you up instead of helping you fall asleep. Next, acupuncture for sleep. So I will say this. There's not enough research right now to confidently determine if acupuncture truly works. However, the research that's available is promising. One method is to target areas you know and feel are particularly tense, such as the upper part of your nose bridge or your temples. However, there are also specific points in acupuncture that are reported to help with insomnia. So here are 3 you can do without sitting up. And the first is called the spirit gate. And here's the technique. So feel for the small hollow space under your palm on the pinky side. Okay, on the pinky side, not the thumb, on the pinky side. And gently apply pressure in a circular or up and down movement for 2 to 3 minutes. Press down the left side of the point palm facing, with gentle pressure for a few seconds, and then hold the right side, back of hand facing. Then repeat on the same area of your other wrist. So this is the first specific acupressure point, and it's called the spirit gate. Next is called inner frontier gate. And here's the technique. On one palm facing up, count 3 finger widths down from your wrist crease. With your thumb, apply a steady downward pressure between the 2 tendons. You can massage in circular or up and down motion until you feel your muscles relax. Again, this is the inner frontier gate. Next, we have the wind pool. Here's a technique. So interlock your fingers together, fingers out and palms touching, and open up your palms to create a cup shape with your hands. Position your thumbs on the base of your skull with thumbs touching where your neck and head connect. Apply a deep and firm pressure using circular up and down movements to massage this area. Breathe deeply and pay attention to how your body relaxes as you exhale. So again, those are the 3 specific points in acupressure for sleep. So the spirit gate, which is the small hollow space under your palm on your pinky side. Then the inner frontier gate, which is 3 finger widths from your wrist crease. And then the wind pool, which is positioned at the base of your skull behind your head. So let me know in the comments if you guys have tried acupressure, if you're a fan of it. What are your thoughts? So prepare yourself fully, you guys, before tackling these techniques, right? I just shared with you all of these cool techniques to help you fall asleep in between 10 to 120 seconds. If you've tried these methods and you're still finding yourself unable to fall asleep in 2 minutes or less, see if there are other tips you can take to make your bedroom a more, sleep-friendly place, because your ambience has a huge effect on your circadian rhythm and how quickly you fall asleep. So, before embarking on these techniques, have you tried hiding your clock? Have you tried taking a warm shower before bed? Have you tried opening the window to keep your room cool? We all know trying to sleep in a hot room is one of the most uncomfortable experiences, right? Have you tried wearing socks? I know many of us are not fans of wearing socks, but this could be something that might help you to fall asleep quicker. Have you tried a gentle 15-minute yoga routine before bed? Have you tried placing your phone far away from your bed? Yes, this is a big one. Like I mentioned in the very beginning of today's episode, you do not want to be falling asleep with your phone in your hand. That should not be the last thing you do before falling asleep. Have you tried aromatherapy? In a diffuser using lavender, chamomile, or clary sage? Have you tried eating earlier to avoid stomach digestion or stimulation before bed? Okay, these are other methods you can do on top of these other techniques and sleep tricks that I have shared with you. If you find the atmosphere in your room to be damaging to your sleep, there are tools you can use to block out the noise. Literally. You can also try investing in blackout curtains, white noise machines, or listening to music with an auto stop timer, similar to that sound bath experience I was telling you guys in the first segment. And earplugs, all of these things in which you can buy online. On the other hand, sleep hygiene or clean sleep is real and effective. So before you truly take on the military method or the 4-7-8 breathing, see what you can optimize to your bedroom for soundless slumber And let me know in the comments, you guys, which one of these routines work out for you once you've tried them. So we're going to cut into another very brief break right now. And when we come back, we're going to discuss everything you need to know about your circadian rhythm.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we're now switching gears a little bit, but we're still on the topic of sleep. Again, it is so important. It is something that most of us tend to neglect because society has instilled this idea in our brains that sleep is for the weak, that, money doesn't sleep, hustle all day until you burn out, which is like good, but it also has its cons. Like sleep is good. Sleep helps you be more productive throughout the day. And circadian rhythm and understanding what this is and how it works and if you're out of sync and how to reset is all going to help you in getting a deeper sleep, a better sleep, better quality sleep. And as a result will help you in having a more productive and useful day. Your circadian rhythm, guys, helps control your daily schedule for sleep and wakefulness. This rhythm is tied to your 24-hour body clock, and most living things have one, even plants. Your circadian rhythm is influenced by outside things like light and dark, as well as other factors. Your brain receives signals based on your environment and activates certain hormones, alters your body temperature, and regulates your metabolism to keep you alert or draw you to sleep. Some may experience disruptions to their circadian rhythm because of external factors or sleep disorders. Maintaining healthy habits can help you respond better to this natural rhythm of your body. So here's how it works. There are several components that make up your body's circadian rhythm. It is one of 4 biological rhythms in the body. And the first one we need to talk about is the cells in your body. First, cells in your brain respond to light and dark. Your eyes capture such changes in the environment and then send signals to different cells about when it's time to be sleepy or awake. Those cells then send more signals to other parts of the brain that activate other functions that make you more tired or alert. So that's the first component that makes up your body circadian rhythm. The second is how hormones play a huge role. Hormones like melatonin and cortisol may increase or decrease as part of your circadian rhythm. Melatonin is a hormone that makes you sleepy, and your body releases more of it at night and suppresses it during the day. Cortisol can make you more alert, and your body produces more of it in the morning. Other factors: body temperature and metabolism are also part of your circadian rhythm. Your temperature drops when you sleep and rises during awake hours. Additionally, your metabolism works at different rates throughout the day. Other factors may also influence your circadian rhythm. Your rhythm may adjust based on your work hours, your physical activity, and additional habits or lifestyle choices. Age is another factor that influences your circadian rhythm. Infants, teens, and adults all experience circadian rhythms differently, and we're going to get into all of that in detail right now. First, we're going to discuss circadian rhythm in babies. And I think this specific topic is going to be very useful for all of my parents out there with newborns. I personally don't have a child or any babies. But just from stories I've heard from friends about baby's sleep cycle and trying to get them to bed and all this stuff regarding babies and sleep. So, circadian rhythm and babies. Here we go. Listen up. Newborns do not have a circadian rhythm developed until they're a few months old, which I did not know this. So for all of my new parents out there with a newborn, newborns do not have a circadian rhythm, which is why they be waking up at all hours of the day. And this can cause their sleeping patterns to be erratic in the first days, weeks, and months of their lives, which means it's keeping your sleep pattern to be erratic, right? Because they're waking you up. Their circadian rhythm in babies develops as they adapt to the environment and experience changes to their bodies. Babies begin to release melatonin when they are about 3 months old, and the hormone cortisol develops from 2 months to 9 months old. Toddlers and children have a fairly regulated sleep schedule once their circadian rhythm and corresponding body functions mature. Children need about 9 or 10 hours of sleep at night, so a couple hours more than adults. So that's in regards to babies, circadian rhythms with babies and toddlers. Now, circadian rhythm in teens is slightly different. Teenagers experience a shift in their circadian rhythm known as sleep phase delay. Unlike in their childhood, years with early bedtimes around 8 or 9 p.m., teenagers may not get tired until much later in the night. Melatonin may not rise until closer to 10 or 11 p.m. or even later. That shift also results in a teenager's need to sleep later in the morning. Their peak sleepy hours at night are from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. or may even be later. But they still need the same amount of sleep as children, 9 to 10 hours. And now, circadian rhythm in adults. Adults should have a pretty consistent circadian rhythm if they practice healthy habits. Their bedtimes and wake times should remain stable if they follow a fairly regular schedule and aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Adults likely get sleepy well before midnight as melatonin releases into their bodies. They reach their most tired phases of the day from 2 to 4 a.m. and 1 to 3 p.m., which is absolutely true. It's so weird, but I definitely feel so sleepy in between 1 to 3 p.m. Older adults may notice their circadian rhythm changes with age, and they begin to go to bed earlier than they used to and wake in the wee hours of the morning. In general, this is a normal part of aging, so this may mean that I'm aging at a very fast rate because I be sleeping at old people times. I'm sorry if you're older, no disrespect to you, but I definitely sleep like a grandma. Like, I sleep early, I wake up early, so I'm headed towards the aging process here. So again, those in a nutshell are the circadian rhythm in babies, toddlers, teens, and adults. All very different, and they adjust as we grow older in age. And now, here's a really important topic in regards to your circadian rhythm is understanding how it gets out of sync, okay? Sometimes it's not possible to follow your circadian rhythm, and your lifestyle needs and internal clock clash. This can occur because of overnight or off hours work shifts that go against the natural light and dark times of day. So if you work graveyard shifts, this can definitely alter and get your circadian rhythm out of sync. Work shifts with erratic hours, which goes hand in hand with what I just said. Travel that spans the course of one or more different time zones, which is why people experience, crazy, like, what's the term called? Oh my God, I'm like going at a blank. What's it called when people travel and their circadian rhythm's off? I don't know why I'm blinking out right now. But anyways, travel definitely can get your circadian rhythm out of sync. A lifestyle that encourages late night hours or early wake times, medications you take, stress, mental health conditions like brain damage, dementia, head injuries or blindness, and poor sleep habits, including lacking a sleep schedule, eating or drinking late at night, watching screens too close to bedtime, or not having a comfortable sleeping space. So I mentioned this already, how it's not good to be looking at screens before bed. So ideally, you shouldn't be on your laptop. You shouldn't be scrolling on Instagram on your phone. You shouldn't be watching TV right before bed, because all of that blue light energy that's transmitting from the screen to your eyes is literally keeping you up later and pushes your circadian rhythm, you guys, like 1 to 2 hours past what you would have normally fell asleep if you weren't watching the screen. So say you're trying to go to bed at 9 and at 8:30 you're scrolling on Instagram. You could have fallen asleep at 9, but instead, because you're scrolling on Instagram, you're not going to fall asleep until 11. So that's why it's really important to make sure that you're not emitting too much blue light right before bed. And this is actually why before bed, I like to put my phone on red light mode. And there's a way you can do that in your settings in your phone. Just go on YouTube, look up a tutorial. That's how I found out. So my phone is always on red light mode right before I have to go to bed. So that way it doesn't mess with my circadian rhythm. So again, those are the different ways, the many different ways actually that your circadian rhythm, your body clock can get out of order, out of sync. And we're going to come to a really brief break right now. And when we come back, we're going to discuss how to reset your circadian rhythm.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. We are now entering the final segment of today's show, and we're going to start it off right now on how to reset your circadian rhythm. So in the previous segment, we went through the different ways your body clock can get out of sync, which is working, erratic hours, graveyard shifts, travel, medications you take, stress, and other mental health conditions. So how you can reset. You may experience, disruptions to your circadian rhythm, but you can get it back on track. That's the good thing. So here are some tips for promoting a healthy 24-hour body clock schedule. So the first, try to adhere to routine each day. 2, spend time outdoors when it's light outside to boost your wakefulness, okay? Literally vitamin D, go outside, take a quick walk. It's literally good for the mind, body, soul. 3, get enough daily exercise. 20 or more minutes of aerobic exercise is generally recommended. Next, sleep in an environment that promotes rest with proper lighting, a comfortable temperature, and a supportive mattress. Next, avoid alcohol, caffeine, and nicotine in the evenings. Very important as well. Power down your screens well before bedtime and try engaging in something analog, such as reading a book or meditating, which again, I mentioned that to you guys in the beginning of today's episode, how reading a book before bed really does promote, a good sleep. At least I find it for myself. Like I really get so snoozy once I read a book. And another really key thing is to not nap late in the afternoon or evening. So if you have to go to bed by 9 p.m., you probably shouldn't take a nap around 5 p.m., right? Because then it's just going to keep you up later. So those are some ways to reset your body clock. So with all of that information I gave you guys, I want to get into sleep disorders a little bit. Sometimes alterations to your circadian rhythm may be the sign of a more serious condition like a circadian rhythm sleep disorder. 2 of these disorders are advanced sleep phase and delayed sleep phase. You may be more susceptible to these if you work an irregular shift, are blind, or are a teenager or older adult. Delayed sleep phase disorder occurs when you go to bed and awaken 2 hours or more after most people. You may think of yourself as a night owl. Teenagers and young adults are more prone to this condition. Advanced sleep phase disorder is the opposite of delayed sleep phase disorder. You actually fall asleep a few hours before most people and then awaken very early in the morning. Disorders related to your circadian rhythm may result in having difficulty falling asleep at night. Waking frequently throughout the night and not being able to go back to sleep in the middle of the night. So here are some symptoms related to these conditions, and they include insomnia, sleep loss, problems waking in the morning, tiredness throughout the day, depression or stress. Other conditions that are tied into circadian rhythm include jet lag, which is the term that I was meaning to repeat last segment and I totally spaced out. But jet lag, which is again caused from traveling over several time zones quickly. Shift work disorder, caused by an off-hours job or a job with unpredictable hours. Irregular sleep-wake disorder, caused by an inability to set a regular sleep and wake schedule. Treating these conditions may include a variety of approaches. You may try to set a more regular schedule, use light therapy, take medications or supplements like melatonin to fall asleep more easily, or try an intentional shift in your sleep, implemented over several days or weeks. Now let's talk about health effects of sleep and why it's so important to make sure you're in a consistent circadian rhythm. Maintaining your circadian rhythm is vital to your health, you guys. If you experience a disruption to your circadian rhythm and struggle to get the proper amount of sleep, you may experience both short-term and long-term consequences to your health. Disruption to your circadian rhythm can cause health conditions in several parts of the body in the long term. And this includes your organs, your cardiovascular system, your metabolism, your gastrointestinal system, and your skin. You may be more susceptible to diabetes, obesity, and mental health conditions as well. Short-term disruptions to your circadian rhythm may result in problems with memory or lack of energy. It may also take longer to heal an injury if you don't get enough sleep. So when do you talk to your doctor? When does it come to that point where you're like, hey, I need to see like a sleep specialist or something? There are several reasons you may want to talk to a doctor about an issue with your circadian rhythm. If you experience one of these issues for a prolonged period, consider making a doctor's appointment. So if you have trouble achieving adequate sleep every night, if you cannot fall asleep easily, if you awaken several times a night and fail to get quality sleep, if you have trouble waking up, or if you just feel extremely tired and fatigued, during waking hours. So here's the bottom line, you guys. Your circadian rhythm is your body's natural way of keeping to its 24-hour body clock, helping your body operate on a healthy sleep-wake schedule. Living a healthy, active lifestyle that promotes proper rest will help you maintain this important component of your body. So exercising is a huge, huge one, right? Like it literally forces your body to be tired, which is why I love exercise so much, or one of the reasons why I love exercising so much is it just helps ease my body, helps me have a better night's sleep, truly. And again, reach out to your doctor if you experience prolonged difficulties sleeping or extreme fatigue during the day to find out how you can realign with your circadian rhythm and get proper rest. Again, I share with you guys the more natural way, holistic way of getting your body to reset its circadian rhythm. Of course, like I said in the very beginning of today's episode, you can always take medication for this. I myself am more towards the natural holistic side, not saying that you need to be as well, but that's just what I prefer. And I want to hear from you guys. What ways, methods, tips, and tricks have you guys done to help fall asleep quicker? Or what have you guys done to try and get your circadian rhythm to flow back into its normal state? I really like hearing from you guys, so definitely let me know in the comments. And that's basically going to wrap up today's episode here at the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, talking all about sleep. Hopefully you guys are getting a better night's sleep, especially with this 1 hour we gained with daylight savings time. If you guys enjoyed today's episode and found today's episode to be helpful and useful, then please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those things, because that tremendously helps the show. And I'll catch you guys here for the next one.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Health and Wellness Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.